Oh, soaking wet.
Hey, very pleasant good afternoon to you. Yeah, we're supposed to get a little rain in the Pennsylvania area. It's my understanding today. I apologize. We are a few minutes late. All my fault. Apologies to everybody, including the dear Goon involved. But we are now off and running for our Thursday edition, heading into a weekend that I'll be curious. We have some options on our end going into the weekend, so I'm not exactly sure. We're thinking about heading down to the Little League World Series on Saturday. Not sure we're going to do that, but it's a possibility. May get to the Grange on Friday. Not sure about that, but that's a possibility. So we'll see what the weekend brings in all of its glory.
Jeffrey,
here. But,
question.
We're getting a little rain today. Yeah.
Does the Byers family or your mother's clan actually have a encampment or anything like that at the Grange?
No. Nobody. So I had cousins when I was a young tyke. My cousins went to Penns Valley Area School District, and
gotcha.
And interestingly, they are all now in urban areas: New York City, Pittsburgh, and Boston. Yeah, which is just interesting the way that worked out. But I'm trying to think if all three of them. I know the younger two for sure showed animals down at the Grange, raised and showed animals at the Grange. I don't think they ever had. Now they didn't live very far away from the encampment, but they never had a tent. I do have several friends, many friends that do have encampments down there. Have had them for, in at least a few cases, for generations. But yeah, no, we never. We went down quite often as a kiddo and visited different folks, but no, I never. I'm trying
never
to
slept there or anything?
I don't. Yeah, I'm trying to think if we even.
Did you ever sleep there?
That's what I'm trying to. I don't think so. I think I would. We went down there and stayed until pretty late at night a few times, but I think we always came home. I don't ever remember us. Yeah, I don't think. I don't think I ever stayed overnight at the Grange.
I never have. I mean, and I know enough people up there. We go there. We gonna miss it this year. But.
Well, get this weather out of the way and let the Grange in all its glory. I know they have the opening tonight, but really it gets underway full swing tomorrow, and it does look like
just imagine. I mean, it
should be okay there weather-wise.
Downpour since I walked out of my house at 12:45, and I mean heavy downpour.
Yeah,
I'm still soaking
that.
wet. You're soaking wet.
Yeah.
I mean, I took the dogs out before I left. They went to the porch and they were like, "Nope, not today, Bubba."
Yeah. That's a reasonable call.
Yeah,
on their part.
I'm worried about, like, does the Grange Fair, does it flood? I mean, this is a lot of rain quick.
Yeah. I mean, yes. I mean, it's
like
a
the encampment.
A lot of
grassy
areas
everything
and
is
stuff.
soaking wet. And that.
Yeah, not ideal. That
no, it's not.
Is for sure. But it does.
I do
look
love
like
me some
after
strange.
this,
I do love me some strange Grange Fair though.
Oh,
I do enjoy
the food.
Yes.
The food, my man. If for no other reason, head on down there for the food. But I like checking out the tractor pulls and it's fun. We like checking out different parts of the fair each year.
Yeah, I never watch any of the tractor pulls. I hear them.
Yeah,
I like going to see the animals and stuff like that, and it's really cute and really cool and all that. But then you know what happens, and it's like, oh, okay, that's a little. It is what it is.
So we'll start with a few stories. Do you want to? You had one to
I got
open
a
up.
great
you want to open up with that, and then I'll share a story from the other night.
I was just thinking about football camp back in the day and how much you just hated it. It was like the same thing over. It's Groundhog. It was Groundhog Day. Every day was the same. Every day. And I will give you the day. The horns go off at 5 o'clock in the morning in your hallway. 5 in the morning. And you're up in the locker room at 5:30, 6 o'clock, getting ready. They have a continental breakfast for you there, which was always, like bananas, bagels, Irving's bagels, and then some coffee, some different drinks and stuff. You didn't have a full breakfast before practice. But by 7 o'clock in the morning, you were stretched. You were all ready to go. You were already soaking wet because you were stretching on the ground and the mountain dew, the morning dew was hammering you.
Yep.
So you're soaking wet, and then you're hitting. I'm beating up, bashing heads with a linebacker and a defensive end and D tackles at exactly 7 o'clock in the morning. Like the sun's coming up. There's like still a fog. And I remember the Penn State football story did an unbelievable job following us one year. And they went through a couple practices, and a lot of them were it was like a fog on practice. And it was like, you couldn't ask for a better like weather for somebody to have some good video material. So you're bashing heads at 7 o'clock in the morning. You're off the field at 9. You leave that, you go to breakfast. That's when you get your breakfast. And then you go back to your apartment and you sleep until 1 o'clock, and then you get lunch. So you have like a breakfast and lunch in like 3 hours apart. And then you go to meetings, and then it happens all day. So the reason I'm telling this story is, so you get done in the afternoon practice, you go to dinner, then you go to your nighttime meeting and walk through, and then in bed at 10 o'clock that night. And it was like that for like 17 straight days. And I'm not lying to you when saying that the only day off we would get would be a Sunday morning for church services. And that at that time, everybody was very, very religious that day, that morning, just to thank God we don't have, we can sleep until 9 o'clock. Thank God, I love you. You're this and that. So there was one afternoon, and you're just, again, it's just the monotony of the whole thing. The monotony. It just drives you crazy. So it was overcast, crazy cloudy. You could hear the storms coming in from everywhere. There was like 3 different angles of storms coming at us. So they bust us up to the flower gardens in the early morning. And I don't know if we would take 4 buses up from Lash, and we would drive up the street to the flower gardens. That's where we had preseason practice. They don't do that now, but we're up there on the intramural fields because Joe didn't want to damage the football fields in the preseason. So we're up there on these crappy fields that people tailgate on, by the way. So you're getting glass, and you literally see glass and stuff, and it's crazy. But the storm is coming in, and we're riding this bus up here, and we're not even taped up. It was like, this practice is totally getting canceled. This is going to be great.
Oh, boy.
We're going to get up there. As soon as you got on the bus, the practice, it was starting time. So it was like, he's not going to get you guys up there, then bus you back, and then have a practice inside. He would just cancel it. So we're all like, hell yeah, going crazy on the bus. Like, we're getting ready for a game. It's dark, overcast, thunder booming everywhere. We're out in the practice fields. We're stretching. We're all laughing and joking. And I'm telling you, Jeff Ironhead Byers, on the soul of my mother and father, I saw the skies part. And it, at the flower gardens, it opened up and it stayed sunny. And then by the time the weather got over top of Beaver Stadium, it was thundering and this and that. So the old man, we always used to kid around. The old man made a call to the big man upstairs and said, "Hey, why don't you have a good practice today? Keep me dry." So I'm telling you, we were already spending the time sleeping. We could not wait to get back to our rooms and stuff like that. And nope, the clouds opened up. Sun came out for a 3-minute, 4-minute window as the storm was going over top of us. Didn't get a drop of rain on us. And it was a horrible practice. Horrible heat, humidity, ridiculous. 2 hours, and then when you don't think you think you're getting away from it. Now, that's one of those things that it was just like the old man's got calls. I mean, that's just that's just crap. Thought we had a day off. So what do you got?
It is funny how it just does seem like that's the way life works. When there's something that you can't control, and you expect it to go a certain way, and you convince yourself it's going to go a certain way. Right? It just inevitably, one way or another, turns against you and your wishes, or at least it seems that way, much more often than not. That is funny because I can relate just to the anticipation of, all right, we get we get this day off. not certainly as taxing or anything, but there was a
if anything, it would break the monotony.
Yeah, there was a day back in the spring, as you're saying that, where again all day they were like, thunderstorms going to be hitting our area, and the Mad Turtle has a little league, but it was, and I don't even remember now exactly, but we had a bunch of things that we were trying to get ready for. And it's like, oh, this will be nice because we can get some things done here that have to get done. We're not going to have to stay up real late. And sure enough, everything just passed to the south, or maybe it was the north of us. I don't remember. And we had, not only did we have the game, but it went longer than the usual games. It was like, oh, and it was fine. I mean, not nearly as heartbreaking as the situation you're talking about, but it's just it is funny how when you start to think you're going to be able to count on something that you truly have no control over, it's like, this could go.
When your buddy says
either way,
he has a guaranteed lock bet, go the other way.
Especially if that somebody is me. All right,
this is true.
We on Tuesday, the Walloping Walruses, which was Reggie's summer Little League team. And again, I think I've talked about this, but the summer league is not that the spring league is terribly intense, but the spring league is more like it's a longer season. It's fewer team members, and you do come together as a team, and you see the progress over the course of the year. The summer league, they being the coaches in the league, kids are coming and going with family vacations. And so the roster is bigger, the teams are fewer, and it's kind of a catch as catch can, more laid back for sure than the spring. So he's on the Walloping Walruses. They ended up, I think, 7 of the team members were able to make it out to the Spikes game for the Field of Dreams experience on Tuesday night that one of the other parents organized, and a huge thank you for that. But it could not have been a better experience for those 7 kids. They got there, they get to hang out with each other for a little bit. They go down on the field and they get to introduce themselves. So they're up on the scoreboard. I think they just gave their name and position that they play. And then they run out onto the field with their respective positions for the national anthem. And then they allowed them to have the best seat in the house thing with Caparella furniture. Yeah. So they're sitting on that couch up on and they win they come back with the mic and they get to do the, I think theirs was naming how many farm animals can you name in 10 minutes. They named 9. The one pitcher for the Spikes named 8. So they get the Dippin' Dots. I think they were getting the Dippin' Dots no matter what. But they just had an absolute blast. And I keep saying it, but I honestly, for just an evening or a day's entertainment, you are going to be very hard pressed to top minor league baseball in general, State College Spikes in particular. It is just a great time. And as always, everybody up there is just so friendly and courteous. The ushers are terrific. Joe Putnam came down and he's terrific. Steve Jones and I got together for a little bit, had a chance to talk about some things that have been going on over the summer. It just is, it is a wonderful night out if you get that opportunity. And I don't, if you're living in our area, I don't know how you wouldn't have the opportunity at some point over the summer. Spikes are hanging on to their championship game hopes, but took another hit last night. They did win Tuesday night's game to add to the overall joy of the experience on Tuesday. But they need to make up some ground here in the final, I don't know what we're down to, 10 days or so of the regular season. So we'll see if they can do it. But just a huge thank you again to the State College Spikes for making a lot of great memories for a good group of kids on Tuesday night. Just helped to ease some of the anxiety over the school year starting back up next week. It was nice to have that little respite from the concerns or the worries. We're making the move to middle school this year, and I think there's just some anxiety that comes with that.
What grade is that?
He'll be going into 6th.
Oh boy!
So 6th through 8th is in the middle school. So, yep, we'll be out at Park Forest and see.
That's okay. They're not formative years
brings.
at all, though. Don't worry about it.
But yep, good times out at the ballpark. And again, thank you to the State College Spikes.
Yes, and I got a call in right now trying to figure out if I didn't know, and I still don't know. Will they play if the MLB Players Association strikes next year?
Yes.
They
Spikes
will?
Yes.
Even though it's an MLB draft league?
Yes.
Well, then that's our hobby next summer because we know sure as hell the Major League Baseball is going to be on a strike for a long time, in my opinion.
Unless I'm with you. I mean, you can hold out hope, but I will, certainly hope that is not the case. But I'm with you. I don't see how at this point it is avoidable. As much as I'm hoping that it is, but I don't see the two sides coming together on this one.
No, and we've talked about it.
Yeah,
I mean, Major League Baseball players are not going to walk back their guaranteed contracts and what their guys are getting right now. They're not going to sit there and say we're going to go to a salary cap, a hard salary cap like the NFL has. No way. I had a talk with somebody yesterday, and they were telling me, and you will find this interesting, Jeffrey, because this is a point of contention you and I constantly have, and that is with the players, the college football players I'm talking about, and the NIL deals and stuff like that, and who is representing the players when they go to collective bargaining. You know what I was told?
Assuming, and I keep getting told that it may not. I don't see any way that it does.
You know what I
know right now they're saying they're not employees. I'm telling you, there is an expectation and a salary, and that's what it is, a salary being given. That is an employer-employee relationship. So, yes, I think inevitably that is going to
And then
occur.
somebody will be – but then somebody said to me, why would the players try to change anything right now? They have the world by the news. There's nothing held back from them right now. They can – you understand what I mean? They are. It's open season for them. It's wild west.
Yes and no.
I know what you're saying, but if there's an injury and stuff like that as an employee, you should be treated a little bit different.
There's going to be a lot of things that are. The NCAA is trying.
Of course they are.
To exert, whatever degree of power it has left, and. Even on this 5 and 5 thing, I think there's going to be pushback there, but I think for there to be effective pushback, that they have to have some sort of, union, but some sort of bargaining organization that can go to the NCAA and reach these agreements. Now, to your point, maybe they don't, because I think right now they could accurately believe that, this will have individuals go to court, and the courts are going to say, well, yeah, you can't limit it to 5 years because you're denying these guys the opportunity to continue their education and make a living while they're doing it. And it's an arbitrary the 5 years is an arbitrary number. Is, again, my guess, not being a legal expert at all, but just looking at the way everything else has gone in the courts. I'm just not sure where the NCAA is. At some point, there's going to have to be some sort of an agreement where they say, all right, well, the players agreed to this, because every time they try to force something down, it gets overturned. And I think, at least by and large, that's going to continue to be the case as we move forward.
Well, Jeff, my heart breaks for these poor NCAA people who have to make these rules and no one's listening to them because they're trying to hang on by their fingertips right now to anything, right? So there's no sympathy in my heart for those people, and you know that. There ain't none in yours either. But, you and I as fans, it's got to get under control. But as a player's going to sit there and say, full speed ahead, man. Let's go. We can max out our contracts, make as much as we possibly can. Hell, guys are getting cut from the NFL and are allowed to go back to the college football ranks now.
Well, and again, I think the legislation, I am really, really curious to see where the legislation goes, how it gets interpreted, and maybe most importantly, how it gets enforced.
Yeah.
If and when,
They'll
and
make
I'm
a rule.
presuming when the legislation comes.
They'll make a
down.
rule, and then the players won't like it, and then they will unionize then. And until then,
well, at least try to. Yes.
I mean, why wouldn't they be able to? I mean, I think that
right now it's not an employer-employee relationship, is what.
But if
what they're saying.
I mean, we keep on talking about, how they can band together and unionize and this and that. But, you're here 5 years, and then everybody's got to go away. It's just like, who are representing these players? Are there going to be a conference representative, a team representative? It's insane. And then who's representing the Olympic sports? Or are they going to be part of, that?
Well, and if this legislation does go through, and again, there are some good intentions, I think, with it. And I do think there's, a lot of these politicians are, not all of them, obviously, but I think a lot of them are trying at least to do their due diligence and figure this out. But like one of the things that is at least purportedly being thrown around is that I think it's like there would be a 9-year moratorium on being able to cut varsity sports. Well, that sounds great. All right, we're going to keep the opportunities available for student athletes across the board for, at least the next 9 years. What needs to be clarified there is, all right, what does that mean? Not cutting the sport. All right, but can you cut the number of scholarships? Can you reduce the amount of money that is being given at this particular point? And I have not seen any indication of this yet, but if this is coming down the pike, like how many schools may make the move maybe earlier than they were planning to because they don't want to support, the number of programs they have. And the other part of this that has just consistently been a sore point for those of us that are Big Ten fans in particular is, okay, well, now you are locking in the Ohio States and the Penn States of the world to 30-plus varsity programs for the next 9 years, while assuring that the SEC will have the competitive advantage in the 16 to 18 sports that their schools are supporting, because again, the money is getting divvied up among fewer programs, thus more money. And the other part of it is like how much, I mean, we've talked about this. There are schools out there, Big Ten schools, who are only giving money to football and men's basketball. So, I mean, on one hand, okay, that's great that you have 28 varsity programs, but if you are fully financially backing 2 of them and the other 26 are kind of floating in the wind out there, well, I mean, you're not making that a great experience, one would think, for those athletes, certainly compared to other schools where a sport may be fully backed, fully supported. So, again, there's a lot of moving parts, and I don't know, maybe they address some of that in the, or will address it when the legislation ultimately is passed, assuming that ultimately we will have something passed. But again, there's just a lot of moving parts there that I think are going to make this still a very challenging new world over the next decade or so. Because again, even if you, like, let's say you all right, we let's just do the salary cap thing. All right, the most you can earn from
salary cap is not a team. A team salary cap. So, like, say $30 million.
Correct.
Be the max.
Yep. And so
the Pirates have $6 million.
So if you are limiting the team or the individual, and presumably the individual salaries would be capped as well in terms of what the programs are going to be giving. Again, that great. All right, that's the rule. And then you get word that, hey, this program down here is slipping another 100,000. Well, who's enforcing it, and what are the ramifications?
Yeah, we're going to go back
Part
to the
of the
McDonald's
problems that the NCAA has had is that the ramifications were often not clear and would vary from program to program or year by year, and the enforcement was very difficult because with some of this stuff, it just, again, there's only so many investigators that you can allow to be out there and to pay for and all of that. So again, if the legislation is passed, Congress passes, all right, this is the way these rules are going to be set up. Okay, great. Now, who is enforcing those rules? Are you telling the NCAA that, well, now you've got to hire X amount more in terms of investigators? Yeah. Well, that on the surface, I mean, where is that funding coming from? And again,
that's if the NCAA is still involved, though. Jeff,
are they going to, well, whatever the organization is, all right. It's going to be the same problem. You've got to, fine, pass it off to the conferences. Well, the conferences are going to, so you're mandating that we investigate this stuff. Are you telling us how many investigators? We only have one investigator. Oh, look at that. Michigan and Ohio State got away with it in their national championship. We only had the one investigator. What could we have done? Well, again, there needs to be, and I don't know how you go about this, because I don't know that the government can step in and say, yes, you must pay 500 investigators this amount. Well, what if there's no accusations even that anybody's doing anything wrong? This is what I mean. I think this is going to be a lot more difficult than what maybe some folks are thinking. Like, hey, let's just get our arms around this.
No,
and even
Jeff,
when it comes to
I know we're going to
transferring stuff.
I mean, I have questions about this. Okay, so you have this. All right. Are you at school, and then schools are signing up to be willing to, and then they're going to be on board for it. Yes, I get it, but I think the schools need some kind of promise from the players that, like, hey, we're going to sign you to a 5-year deal or a 4-year deal, because if you think about what college sports is right now, it is free agency every year.
Yes,
and again, why would the players give that up? And that's what they're going to have to get something. Like I'm talking about Major League Baseball. What are they going to give Major League Baseball players to get rid of these guaranteed long $750 million contracts. Okay,
Yep.
you want to have a salary cap. Well, the owners better be giving the players something more. And what I'm saying is with the new whoever, if they want to do this and cap this and sign contracts to these guys, make them clean up the transfer portal, not have an annual free agency. Well, what are the players going to get out of it? What is the benefit of the players at this current point?
I hear you.
You know what? And now the more I think about it, and now the fact that they are not represented in that situation, in that scenario, they can't go out and strike because then college will just go out and find 105 new other players that'll play.
Well, but this is going to be the other thing that we keep talking about with the student athletes is like it's not going to be a union that represents student athletes, right? Because a field hockey player at a MAC school and the starting quarterback at an SEC school, I mean, we're not, you're not going to, you're not going to the plate with the same expectation of what you need to get to make this worthwhile. And so that's the other part of it is if it is football players in one group, basketball players in another, and if they actually break it down, it's just going to be sport by sport. Well, that's going to be a disaster because the schools are going to say, thank you, wrestling, you're disbanded.
No, see, I have
swimming and diving, thank you, you're disbanded.
Well, that might happen anyway. You never know.
But
what
again,
if there's
that's what
a
the
salary
legislation
cap?
is trying to avoid.
If we say $40 million, okay. If you want to spend $40 million on your football team, go right ahead. But then you're going to not give anything else to your other athletes. So if it's a hard number, and I'm just saying $40 or $50 million per season for your whole athletic program. So that includes your wrestling team here, your hockey team here. That it all goes into.
Yep.
I mean, crap, man! You really got to start thinking about this, and then you're going to have the athletic department is going to have to come up and say to hockey, like, hey, you guys got $4 million to spend this year. Spend it how you want. I mean, it's. I don't remember a time when collegiate sports was this much in flux. I mean, complete mayhem right now. And it has been since the NIL started and the transfer portal. It started with the transfer portal. And it's just, again, I go back to they have given the players everything they've wanted because of how we were treated back in the day. It's like they're trying to make up for everything, so they're going to swing the pendulum.
To them. They've been forced to
after everything's said and done. Yeah, they fought it and tooth and nail for decades.
Yeah, it wasn't like the NCAA's. You know what?
These guys deserve a little something.
The floodgates.
You know
here.
what? They deserve a little something.
All right, we'll take a break here. We're back with much more. It is our Thursday edition of the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead Show here from Quaker Steak and Lube, our favorite place to be. And so we come on down every Tuesday and Thursday afternoon.
You look a bit nervous, hey?
Thierry, what's it like to stand in the FIFA World Cup stadium?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Just tell me. Come on.
It's not something that you can put into words.
Such a tease.
You can't rush it. You will find out when it's your time.
Thanks for the wisdom, coach. So, how much longer?
Now go and make history, my man. Here's the World Cup you've been waiting for.
Actually, the World Cup's been waiting for me.
That's the spirit. Just remember who drove you here.
Inspiring every step of the next legend. The official matchball carrier, proudly sponsored by Kia. Inspiration connects us all.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak and Lube.
Get our Best Wings USA signature sauces, mouth-watering appetizers, or any of our delicious award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food. Get to Quaker Steak Lube.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
Lusk & Associates Sotheby's International Realty proudly presents the introduction of our new State College office at 314 South Borough Street in State College. At Sotheby's International Realty, we advertise locally, nationally, and internationally, bringing the best of advertising and promotion to each and every one of our properties, big or small. Call now.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
Hi, welcome to Timberland Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative for its members, tracing all the way back to 1973.
Experience Timberland Federal Credit Union, where you're greeted with a smile and financial solutions are tailored to your unique life journey. Here, we're not just financial professionals, we're your neighbors, people invested in your financial needs, literacy, and empowerment. Your dreams matter to us, whether they're about buying a home, growing a nest egg, or embarking on new adventures. TFCU draws from the past and invests in the future, offering modern tools like online banking to give you the freedom to manage your money practically anytime. Additionally, we're passionate about giving back both time and resources because enhancing our community is at the core of why we're here. Visit TFCU in person or online to learn more about our services and apply for a membership today.
WFXX, once again.
The Fox, your sports radio.
Broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA's Sports Authority. WFXS America.
98.7, The Fox, State College.
Back on a rainy Thursday here in the Valley of Happiness. It's the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show at Quaker Steak and Lube. A great opportunity to come on down and watch your favorite sports teams on the multiple TVs. Won't be long now till we can watch real football, regular season football on those screens down here. You can do so while enjoying great food, great beverages, and the best service in the area. All right, few things going on elsewhere. Did get a chance to watch the Little League World Series, some of the action yesterday. Very cool to see. I think it was the first ever U.S. team with two girls on it, including the 9th ever female pitcher in the Little League World Series. And she also had a heck of a catch later in the game at shortstop. But know some folks that went down for the opening day yesterday, and it is a lot of fun, and it was cool to watch the pictures and the hillside and to see the games. Nicaragua with a great win in the first game, at least the first game I watched yesterday, over the Dominican Republic, and it was a really intense game, well pitched and well defended by both teams. But
it's pretty amazing when you think about it, Jeffrey.
Yeah.
Williamsport, Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Like Williamsport, Pennsylvania, and that's the Mecca for 11, 12, and 13-year-old kids.
Yep.
to play baseball there. It's amazing.
Yeah,
absolutely. I doubt they're going to be playing today, Jeff. I don't think.
I don't think that is happening.
When I showed you the radar over there, it was raining from Pittsburgh through Scranton in one band. It was an unbelievable thing that's going on here right now, and it's supposed to keep going for a little bit. So yes, disappointed there that I have heard that this Westchester team, the Pennsylvania team, is really good.
Yep, they certainly looked good throughout the regional tournament, that is for sure. It'll be interesting to see if they can make some headway here in the U.S. bracket and maybe even get all the way and win the whole doggone thing.
I'm disappointed I didn't make it yesterday, but a lot of stuff going on. But I did do something yesterday when I was, obviously you can see I got my hairs trimmed and my beard shaved off.
There you go.
I made the ridiculous mistake yesterday.
Yeah.
This is how I know I'm still not a townie, Jeff. I went downtown yesterday.
We did as well. we did as well.
I'm just happy that the State College Parks and Rec Department decided that they needed the blacktop College Avenue yesterday. I did hear it was some sinkholes, but I mean, unless they appeared yesterday morning, I have no idea why in the hell they would decide to close off a lane on College Avenue. So another one I noticed, by the way. So I
although at least they didn't wait until Friday.
It was a mayhem yesterday because the apartments opened up. So all these, I'm going on vacation, so I'm going out and getting my supplies. So I'm at Hickey, I'm at Nittany. So I go down College Ave, I get my hair cut. Takes an hour. I have to call them and say, listen, I'm sorry, I'm going to be late. And then trying to find a parking spot was insane.
Yeah.
Okay, so I get out of there, go to Nittany. And then I get on the Nittany Beverage. Takes me a half hour to get there from downtown. Come back College on Beaver Avenue.
Yep.
I'm at the firehouse, right? So Atherton Street is backed up on the right lane for people trying to make a right on the Beaver Avenue. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And I'm looking at people in the right lane of on Beaver Avenue, and it's going straight through. These people were stacked up on Atherton, South Atherton, making a right on the Beaver Avenue and banging. They were getting in that left lane to make the left on the Burroughs and go down to that new monster building on the College Ave on that corner there.
Yep.
And they would have 6 cars allowed. You'd have 10 minutes time to drop all your stuff and then get it out of there, then you got to move on. And I'm like, there's nobody working. There's construction going on at the old plasma place. So it's a mess down there already. I could not believe. I was just sitting there. I'm like, I can't believe I made this mistake.
God bless.
Everybody knows you don't go downtown on student arrival week.
God bless those folks that are moving in today. Good. As bad as that may have been, and as rough as it may have been yesterday. We're
going to Goon stories now, Jeffrey. We're going 1983. I was in the car with my mom and dad when we dropped buckwheat off. My brother. I told you this story before, but I have to tell it every year. Man, I was in the back seat. I'm crying my eyes out. My big brother's leaving. First guy to go to college in the family. My sister went, but she came home pretty fast. So my dad, my mom are in the front seat, bawling their eyes out. Buckwheat's getting out of the car. He's up on walking towards Petit. You know, we're at, I guess it would be not Eisenhower, Willard building or whatever's across this from Willard. But we're watching Petit, and he's walking up because they have to do something at Petit building. And then my mom and dad are crying, and my dad years later says, you know what, if he turned around and got in that van, I would have just taken him home. Because it was like, that was his boy.
It is.
And it was our first guy to go away to college and this and that. So we are literally bawling our eyeballs out. So we get to Graham's, I don't know if it's Graham. We get to one of the Exxon stations on Atherton Street. My dad has to pull over because he can't, he's crying too hard. Crying. I'm crying. My mom's crying. It's like, well, whatever. Continue on. We get home and this and that, yada, yada, yada. Fast forward 8 years. I'm not lying to you. The van door, same van, the door opens up. And my parents put my stuff on like outside of Nittany Hall because that's where the football players stayed for camp.
Yep.
They had all my stuff there. My mom looked at me and said, "Don't F this up. We'll see you in a month." And I was like, any tears? Yep. Am I getting any tears or anything? Nothing like that.
They saved them all. Once you got out, Goon, they made the
My girlfriend was in the car. She's
crying.
crying her eyes out. I'm crying. I'm like, okay, mom and dad. And they're like, don't screw it up. Yeah, right. Don't be an ass. Don't screw it up. Don't do, whatever. We'll see you in a month. And then it was like, my girlfriend's crying. I'm like, this is unbelievable. No tears from my mom or nothing. Just a pat on the back. Don't screw it up.
They just didn't want you to see them go.
Sure.
They were
nothing.
A flood.
Talked to my girlfriend a couple days later. I was like, hey, how was the ride home? And she's like, it was fine. Your parents just talked the whole time.
They were hilarious.
And I was like, yeah, it was great. They couldn't wait to try and redo your room and fix your room up and make a guest bedroom out of it.
Man.
They were so happy your fat ass is gone. Son of a beast thing.
Yeah.
And then my little brother gets there, and then all they do is drop him off at my house like 3 days before, and they're like, "Yeah, just hang out with him and take care of your little brother." All right. And oh my God, my little brother goes by Puppy to this day.
Yep.
You know why? Because my mom said to Marco Rivera and me, "You take care of my little puppy," and Marco went, "Oh." My little puppy,
Boy.
So we literally called him Puppy, and he hated it. And that was my mom's little pet name for him because he was hulky and he was hulky in high school. He was the Hulk, he loved the Incredible Hulk when we were kids.
Yeah.
So he loved the Hulk. So he was hulky growing up.
Hulk to Puppy,
and then Hulk to Puppy, and it was 100% Marco Rivera
in a sports nickname.
And Puppy knew who Marco, obviously, he had known Marco for 3 years then. He came up on his visit and all this stuff. So he'd known Marco. Marco been to our house 20 times. He knew Marco was the all-time, bee buster. And he was like, my Puppy looked at me and he goes, "I wish you wouldn't have said that, Mom." And Marco was like, "Oh, my little puppy, my little puppy." And it stuck. Everybody knows him as Puppy now.
Yep, it does not take much for a nickname to take hold.
His head went down. He was like, "God." As soon as she said it, he was like, "No, not in front of him. Anybody but him." Yep. That's where the Puppy, Goon, and Buckwheat all come from. You know where Buckwheat comes from?
I mean, I don't know.
My two oldest brothers and sisters are light-haired, red-haired, ginger types, like light-skinned, like, daywalkers, gingers and stuff like that, So Buckwheat came out looking like me with the darker skin and the darker hair. And my dad's best friend, he said, "My God, Moon, that boy looks like Buckwheat from the Little Rascals." And it was 1 year old. He had a full head of hair. Like he came out with a full head of hair. And the other two were bald until they were 3 years old because you couldn't see their hair. So he was Buckwheat from day one of his life. The first day of his life, somebody called him Buckwheat. Now, it was Buckwheat in high school, Buck to everybody, but then Penn State, his name was Bucky.
Yeah.
And he hated that. He was
Is
always,
that right?
he was like, "Oh, that's Buck or Buckwheat." But they called him, "Hey, Bucky." And the old man calls you by your nickname. You're like, this is a good thing or a bad thing?
Yeah. Yeah. It's.
God, why do they call you Goon? Coach, you ever seen the movie Slapshot? What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, I had a college roommate that could recite, every single line of Slapshot.
Really?
Like, you would watch it, and he's
just throwing
doing
lines
the dialogue. No, like not lines.
Oh,
the entire dialogue.
Wow.
Like, the entire movie. He's like
spot
saying
on.
it right. Yeah. I'm like, wow. Like, I like the movie. It's hilarious, and I love it, and know some of the lines. We watched it
Where's
one
he
night.
from?
It's like, I know.
Was he from? Did he have relations?
That area. Yeah.
Johnstown.
Yeah, down in that area.
All right, so when Buckwheat played in the Big 33 game, it was in Johnstown, Pennsylvania then. And it was the top 30.
Right?
Yeah, it was in Johnstown, and it was the top 33 from the Eastern Pennsylvania and the top 33 from Western Pennsylvania.
I remember.
See, I've always wanted to go back to that.
Yeah.
It was in Johnstown. Because he came back and he's like, yeah, they just filmed this movie out there, a football movie. And I was like, no, I'm pretty sure it was Slapshot. I'm like 10 years old. I'm like, no, that's Johnstown. That's where the Slapshot movie was. And he goes, no, it's a high school football movie. And that's where they filmed all the right moves.
Yeah.
In the summer before, like right before, because my brother played in the 83 Big 33 game out there. And I think that the movie was out in 82 or 83. So, yeah, he was like, yeah, we were in this town where they were filming this movie. And I was like, nah. And it was just funny that Johnstown, PA set background of two great movies in about a 5-year window there.
Yeah.
Just added up to another part of why Pennsylvania kicked ass in the 70s and the 80s.
Amen, brother.
Holy crap, man.
Amen. Whatever happened to that? Said the Pirates fan.
Hey, let's go back.
Although it was a fun game last night. Pirates with a little
nice comeback for
behind. Ninth inning magic. Take it.
I fell asleep with ESPN on last night on one of the 82 ESPN networks. I think I was watching an NFL, like a movie or 30 for 30, and I woke up and it was like sort of a Sports Center thing. But they were doing the actual call from the Pirates broadcaster for that. It was an awesome call.
Oh, it was a great call.
It was like the biggest win of the year. I thought it was very good. All right, let's go back to the
Even though
football.
It's an irrelevant victory in the overall scheme
Well,
of
we're
things.
all
He didn't
thinking
throw
that.
in that part, but
Everybody was thinking that, like, hey, there's still there.
I mean,
he just gave the paddles of life. He just shocked you, and there's a beep. There's a little bit of a pulse. So, Jeff, I want to go back to this the conferences and NCAA just real quick before we hit another break here.
Yeah.
Right. And that is, do you think anybody will drop football?
Well, so this is
I'm talking football. Like,
yeah. So this is the other question I have with this legislation that is at least being kicked around pretty well right now. Is it like, all right, if I pass legislation, I say however many programs you have to keep that as varsity programs.
Yeah, I don't like that
And then
rule
I
at all.
turn around and I say, I don't have the money. I'm dropping 5 programs. Are they like, I don't think anybody wants the ramification to be, well, then your overall student body loses federal funding if your university gets. Like, I mean, I don't, like, what is the penalty if whatever rules, and that's just an example, but if any of the rules are not obeyed, and I'm talking about from a federal government perspective, are there any?
Yep.
Because I don't want, again, I may want some changes here, and I may even be reluctantly okay with government stepping in, but I don't want there to be like actual legal ramifications here to rules governing college sports. That, again, gambling and stuff, it's already on the books. And, if there's something else you need to add that is clearly in that purview, fine. But again, if I am a school and I got to tell you, Goon, I think, the $40 million number is being kicked around at least. If that comes to be, even I know that the coffers are fairly flush at some of these bigger schools, but $40 million is a pretty substantial number that you're going to have to come up with annually. And you may say, well, they're making, $60 million in this year. Okay, that's this year. Moving forward, if donations drop a little bit or your team has a down season, like there is going to be a breaking point here, and that may be it for some of these schools. That $40 million. So to answer your question, yes, I could definitely see
when you're spitting out that $40 million.
This is this is beyond what we want to be involved with, and we're just out of Division I athletics, period. And I'm talking about with the 4 power conferences.
Yeah.
And I don't know what, I mean, I don't have specific schools necessarily in mind. And it is interesting when you look at some of the schools that you would think maybe would say that. Northwestern would spring to mind in the Big Ten. On one hand, okay, yeah, I could see that. On the other hand, they have made the investment they have made over the last 5 years in their athletic facilities. I just can't imagine that they are then going to turn around and say, oh, yeah, never mind, we're out. Like, now you're invested. I mean, and they, with the new football stadium, but they also made the renovations to Welsh Ryan a few years ago. I mean, that there's no way they made all of those renovations, and then they're going to be like, all right, yeah, we're just thinking all together.
More along the lines of a team like Purdue and saying, you know what, we're done playing football. Like, we're a hell of a damn basketball team.
Yeah.
We can make money that way. I mean, what is the – I mean, but –
yeah, Indiana would be another one where oh, wait, never mind.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So it's
until 3 years ago, that would have been a statement that you're like, oh, yeah, I could see that. Indiana.
It's unbelievable.
Anyways.
But, I mean, it's – so do you think like a school like – and I'm talking – I'm not even looking at the non-Power 4. I'm thinking about Power 4 teams who might
Kansas,
just drop a program.
Kentucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
and they're like, well, you know what? This is like, we love it. I mean, but there's a lot of alumni who pay for football stuff. Even at Kentucky. You know, Kentucky is a basketball school through and through, but they sell a lot of tickets for those football games, man. Football it's still king. You know, and it's like a question of like, does Rutgers, and no one's ever going to leave the Big Ten on their own fruition. The way the money is right now, absolutely no way in hell. They paid their dues.
I think as of right now, that is
like
that
Purdue. I mean, not Purdue, but Rutgers and Maryland have paid their dues. They're now full share members. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So 10 years ago, maybe they were like when they weren't getting the full share. I don't know if it was 10 years ago. I don't even know how long they've been in the league. I mean,
yeah. I do think, yeah, they're like everything else. There's just so many moving parts, but. You know, I think part of it is we need to see how all of this ultimately impacts the interest and the following. Like right now, like I know some. I think we talked about this a little bit on the air the other day, but I do have friends who have like no longer are season ticket holders, and.
There's going to be more of those now.
I mean, it's had an impact in that way, except that it hasn't, because there's always been the next wave. It's like, all right, well, that guy's out, but this guy's in. And so it's not impacting it. And I hear a lot of people, it's like, I'm just not as into this now. It's too much money. I don't like not knowing who's going to be back. But the TV numbers and the streaming numbers don't back up that interest is waning. But if over the next 5 years you start to see the viewership truly decrease, you start to see more empty seats in the stadiums, and, you know, in particular, if you have schools that have historically been good and now they're a little less than good, well, okay, we were never great. We're trending in the wrong direction, both in terms of on-field product, and presumably that is going to translate to fewer jersey sales, fewer fannies in the stadium, less parking revenue, all of that. Again, where is the point where even a Big Ten school, which, it is very economically viable, but can there get to be a point in fairly short order? And I don't know the answer, and I'm not wishing for it. I mean, I love big time college sports, but I am very worried about the future of it all, and especially the non-football and basketball schools, programs, not schools, programs, because again, even if this thing does go through with the 9-year, all right, you got to keep your programs. I just don't know how that ultimately plays out, and if it plays out as positively as what the legislature would intend with that.
Why is this legislation even being talked about?
Because the NCAA is completely ineffective.
No, the 9 years you got to be locked in for keep those sports.
Yeah.
Where did this come from? Who was creating this bill and why? What is the benefit to it?
The legislators in talking with college administrators are, it's the college administrators are saying, listen, right now, like we're looking at cutting a bunch of sports here, and they're saying we want the opportunity for high school students to be able to continue their education at the collegiate level. What if we, and again, the 9-year figure is what's been tossed out. No matter what you do, it's just like all of these figures. No matter where you draw the line, all right, make it 8 years, make it 12 years, make it 2 years. It's okay. Well, then the question becomes at that expiration point. Well, there's a multitude of questions. One of which is, again, all right, you're telling me I have to keep running this program. I don't have any money, so we're going to roll out a bunch of non-scholarship athletes, call it a Division I program, or is it mandated that you keep the scholarships, in which case you're, again, assuring that once that 9 years is up, that athletic department just is going to fold? Potentially. Again, I just getting into theoreticals here, but I don't know. It's
there's a lot. There's a lot to break up in there, right there, buddy.
Yeah.
You think that you think that the SEC schools are having their lobbyists bring this up to sort of hamstring the Big Ten? Because we're the ones who are going to pay for it, not them.
Well, more. Yeah, that's always been a disadvantage for the Big Ten. It's been a disadvantage.
Now they want to lock it in.
Willingly signed up for. So yeah, I don't know that it's necessarily, again,
the congressmen from Alabama and South Carolina and Georgia are vehemently for this.
Has been at a disadvantage when it comes to like coaching salaries for exactly that reason. So
well,
you're just escalating it with the.
Are we talking about this when we come back, or are we going to
continue?
Okay,
yeah, we'll continue.
Sure.
Take a break here, and we're back with much more. It is the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show here from Quaker Steak and Lube.
You look a bit nervous, eh?
Thierry, what's it like to stand in the FIFA World Cup stadium?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Just tell me. Come on.
It's not something that you can put into words.
Such a tease.
You can't rush it. You will find out when it's your time.
Thanks for the wisdom, coach. So, how much longer?
Now go and make history, my man. Here's the World Cup you've been waiting for.
Actually, the World Cup's been waiting for me.
That's the spirit. Just remember who drove you here.
Inspiring every step of the next legend. The official matchball carrier, proudly sponsored by Kia. Inspiration connects us all.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak and Lube.
Get our Best Wings USA signature sauces, mouth-watering appetizers, or any of our delicious award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak and Lube.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
Lusk & Associates Sotheby's International Realty proudly presents the introduction of our new State College office at 314 South Borough Street in State College. At Sotheby's International Realty, we advertise locally, nationally, and internationally, bringing the best of advertising and promotion to each and every one of our properties, big or small. Call now.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
Hi, welcome to Timberland Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative for its members, tracing all the way back to 1973.
Experience Timberland Federal Credit Union, where you're greeted with a smile and financial solutions are tailored to your unique life journey. Here, we're not just financial professionals, we're your neighbors, people invested in your financial needs, literacy, and empowerment. Your dreams matter to us, whether they're about buying a home, growing a nest egg, or embarking on new adventures. TFCU draws from the past and invests in the future, offering modern tools like online banking to give you the freedom to manage your money practically anytime. Additionally, we're passionate about giving back both time and resources because enhancing our community is at the core of why we're here. Visit TFCU in person or online to learn more about our services and apply for a membership today.
WFXX, once again, the Fox, your sports radio.
Broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA's Sports Authority, WFXS America.
98.7, the Fox, State College.
And back here on this Thursday afternoon, it is the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show, and talking the current state of college athletics and what the future may or may not bring. And everybody is trying to figure that out, most especially athletic directors and conference commissioners and coaches and athletes and their families. But truthfully, nobody knows exactly how this thing is going to look moving forward. And again, there's just so many different components to it. And what I also think is interesting, and I think probably frustrating for those involved, is that you can have a couple of schools in very similar situations looking at this with completely different perspectives and how they move forward in the world that we're in, where, again, and I'm not even saying there's a right or a wrong here, but it's like, all right, if we take advantage of the world that we're in and we have, a couple of billionaire donors, and then they're like, hey, you tell me what you need, I'm writing the check, we'll get this taken care of. Again, on one hand, well, man, we're in competitive athletics. This is now being allowed. We're going to take full advantage. And that's not unreasonable to me. Also, if you are spending, make up the figure, but let's just say, and again, it's not, I get it's not the school spending, but I'm saying if, all right, all of my athletes are going to be guaranteed make up $1 million in for doing car commercials for this guy that made his money in something else, and now he's selling cars, and he just wants to have the greatest X program in the history of Tiddlywinks program in the history of Tiddlywinks. He's fully funding it whatever we need, our athletes get. And therefore, man, we're getting all of the top tiddlywink players. Well, fantastic. Except that you need teams to play against. And if after 5 years, it's like, well, there's like all of your student athletes are making 10 times what any, and again, I'm obviously using an extreme example here, but the point is you need some semblance of competitive balance. Nobody is suggesting that Alabama and Vanderbilt and Ohio State and Purdue are going to be spending the exact same amount, are going to have the same interest, all of that. Like, you're not evening it out to that extent. But you need some sort of, like, that's why the scholarship limits came into play. It's like, all right, we saw that inherently it is unfair that this school has 150 scholarships and this school has 25, and we're expecting them to compete.
Yep.
Right. So there has to be just, again, some semblance of fairness, or hey, this is what you need
competitive balance
to have an opportunity to compete at this level. Now, again, there's going to be relative, when we say compete, like Iowa State is not competing at the same way that Texas is. We understand that. We accept it. You know, Washington State and USC, we're not competing in the same way. But you feel like in a given season, yeah, okay, maybe things can click, that there is that opportunity. If you have one or two or even 5 programs that are like just heads and shoulders above everybody else in terms of what they're bringing in because of what they're able to give,
yep,
eventually you whittle it down to where, well, now you've paid your way out of an opportunity to compete because everybody else is like, all right, we can't compete, we're gone, right? So you need at least some, and I don't know what the number is, and it can be certainly fewer than what we have right now. I understand that in Division I programs, but you know, I think you probably need at least 20, right? Ideally 25 to 30 programs in any given sport that, again, at least have it feels like it's not completely unreasonable that in a given year they might be able to compete or contend, at least for like a top 5 spot. I worry that we are heading down a path where you're just not going to have that. It's going to be 3 to 5 programs, period. And I think
Indiana doing what they have done has opened up a lot of people's eyes and like, oh God, okay, well, this can be done. And somebody made a point to me the other day, wait until the Ivy League. What if Princeton and Harvard get a hair up their butt and their alumni with their $50 billion endowments say, you know what? Let's make a run at this thing.
Yeah.
It's going to cost us $75 million. We can raise that tonight. And about 15 phone calls, they would probably have all that money, and they can go out and buy the greatest team in the world.
That's an interesting thought too.
I mean, it's a wonder a school like Stanford is not doing much better in this environment.
I think they're doing pretty well. We'll see what
What are they in? They're in the ACC, right?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see kind of how. It's going to be interesting to see how a bunch of different things shake out. But in terms of the non-revenue or Olympic sports,
yep.
I don't know what the answer is, but I don't think I don't think the sports can survive in a healthy state, at least, without some sort of, again, competitive balance, whether it's because right now you have like Penn State Wrestling, Oklahoma State Wrestling, Iowa Wrestling are all right. We're all in, and then there's several schools that are. Yep, there are several schools that are kind of all right, maybe not all in, but pretty darn close.
That's the water. Let me dip my toe in a little bit.
Michigan, Ohio State, Nebraska,
Iowa State.
I think
or are they all in?
Yeah, I think they're getting close. Arizona State, maybe, but you need again more schools that feel like they, again, if not have the opportunity to win a national title, can have a top 5 or a top 10 team at least once over, a 5-year type of period if they go out and work their tails off to try to earn that. Well, and I don't know. I go back and forth on this a little bit because truthfully, I mean, historically, but I think there were some other factors involved. But, college football has always – it's changed a little bit with who the 10 teams are. But there's been about 10 teams that have dominated it, at least in my lifetime.
Get out of my brain, Ironhead.
From the 70s on. I mean, it was, as I was growing up, it was Nebraska, Oklahoma. I'm going to forget somebody, I'm sure. But it was Nebraska, Oklahoma, Notre Dame, Texas, Ohio State, Michigan. Yep. And, then you got Clemson and Georgia came onto the scene. Pitt was there for, my childhood.
USC.
But it was, there was 10 to 12 teams, and it was pretty much the same 10 to 12 every year. And then, again, every now and then you'd have a program that would take a step back or a couple of steps back, and a program, BYU emerged onto the scene. So it wasn't like static, but it was pretty much you knew who generally was going to be contending each and every year. And again, you get a team every now
Nebraska.
And then that you thought would contend that wouldn't, and every now and then you get a team that
Miami came on in the early 80s.
Yep.
Miami jumped in.
Yep.
No, but I go back to 8 years ago, Jeff, and you were saying this then. And you were like, well, college football kicks off this week. Could you imagine being a team like you used? And it stuck in my head. You said a team like Cincinnati, who, I think that's when Fickle was there, and they were maybe even before that, but when they were playing in the playoffs, well, before the playoff, but they were playing the big bowl games. And you said, imagine, a school like that knowing that they don't have a shot to win a national title. Like, they're never going to have a shot.
Yeah.
No matter how good Cincinnati was, and they were undefeated and all that, and then they went and played and they killed somebody in a bowl game, they were not invited to the BCS playoffs. You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So now we're to the point now where there's those teams are adding up that have absolutely no shot of making a run, even though how good they could be. I know we have we're going to go to a 16-team playoff and all that, but not saying they're not invited to this and that, but they won't be able to keep up with the Joneses. You're going to have your MAC schools and your ACs or AAC type schools that, they're not going to be able to compete. They're not going. All they're going to be is fodder for 6 games a year. They're just going to go get destroyed, and then they go play their conference, and they, hopefully one or two of them get a good bowl game. But they're playing football. But we're really lowering how many teams could actually physically, not physically, but who could actually win a national title to keep, because it's about money. Indiana has proven that. I will give Kirk Cignetti all the roses he wants. He deserves his flowers. He gets them, and this and that. But
for sure,
Kirk Cignetti's not doing that if that school did not make a commitment and raise a ton of money and pay that team. He's not doing that. I don't care how good you think he is. He's not doing that without the funding that he got and then that Indiana was given by their alumni. Who's going to do that next? Who's going to jump on board? Or is a school like Penn State say, you know what? No, we can't do that. We can't keep up with the Joneses. But we're all in. We already threw our hat in the ring with that $750 million stadium deal.
Yeah.
So we're in. And I'm with you on this 9. Again, you got to be 9 years. I mean, yes, I want.
Again,
I want the
number that has been
but I
thrown
want
out.
the Olympic sports to be not just thrown on an annual basis, being like, hey, is there like a warning, like, hey, you got to start making some money, or we're going to drop you in 3 years? I mean, is that what it's going to be? Okay, well then, we're going to make a run at it. Then let's see what you can do. You can't just wake up one day and say, okay, we're going to drop diving, swimming, cross country. We're going to keep women's cross country, but not men's. And, and then let's get back to it, Jeff. No one's talking about it. When the hell does Title IX jump back in here? When in the hell is that going to rear its ugly head? Not an ugly head, but rear its head.
Yeah.
No one's talking about that. They're all more worried about dudes in locker rooms and, trans people playing sports, I guess. But, yeah, when is that going to come out? Why aren't the girls making as much as the guys? Now, no one has said a word about that. And we have said it since day one.
Yeah.
A lot of what we had said for our initial concerns, Booch said there's going to be guys suing to stay in the NCAA. There's going to be people suing to stay in because they're not going to make this kind of money outside. And it's the truth. It's happened. It's already happening. It's happened before. It's going to happen more. It's insane, man.
Listen, there are this isn't going to be common. I understand that. But there are going to be situations, would you agree with me on this, where it is going to be more profitable for an athlete to stay in college than to go to his professional sport, especially if it's baseball or football.
Yep.
Because, and again, this is not going to be the norm, but there are quarterbacks or dynamic athletes who you're watching them and you're like, man, that is really special for college. Not sure that's the pro. And there's been plenty of examples.
Vanderbilt last year.
Sometimes you're not going to know it, but sometimes you're at least going to have a pretty good idea. Yeah,
he's not an NFL guy. He knows that. I mean, I go back to the college basketball teams that I mean, why would you – now, are you saying – I'm going to go back to what you said. Okay, if I'm projected a third or fourth round, you're going to make more money than you would in college. Now, you're talking about fringe players, right? Or you?
No, not necessarily.
You got to get drafted in the first 2 or 3 rounds to make that kind of money.
Even that.
Drew Rattler made more money last year than he's making this year.
I am telling you that with the endorsements, again, in the right, if you are the savior of, you're taking your program to heights it's never been. Now, Mendoza's a little different situation. I'm not talking about the number one overall pick who endorsements are going to line up left and right. But I'm talking about a guy who is a game changer for his program. Again, even a third or fourth round pick, Goon, if you are the face of your university and you are able to rake in, whatever the money is from the university, but then you have 10 different businesses that are like, man, we would love to, and they're each paying you, again, I'm making up the numbers, but $100,000 each, and the one is able to pay you $500. I mean, that total may be more than, again, in the NFL, third or fourth round pick, you may get some endorsements. You're not getting the huge endorsement money. You might be getting the huge endorsement money at the collegiate level. Again, this is not going to be the norm. I'm not saying you're going to have hundreds of athletes who are staying in college because they're going to make more money there.
Yep.
I'm saying there's probably going to be a handful over a 5-year period where it's like, if I went to the NFL, I'd make a couple of million. But over 5 years here, I can make $5 million plus because, again, of the importance I am to a particular community versus the endorsement opportunities that are going to be there in the NFL.
I know
when I'm a good player, but not a standout.
I know I keep saying Drew's name, and that is in regard to two different things.
Yeah.
Drew was a third-round draft pick at the NFL, signed a 3 or 4 or 5 year deal with the NFL. His first year, there's a little bit of guaranteed money in it, so he will make more money than he did the last year, but not really. I mean, in the long run, but in the same breath, though, because of this new lawsuit, what you're saying would be that if Drew knew last year that he could go back to college for one more year, because he is eligible. He was one of those 5 for 5 guys. When the lawsuit came out, he would have been eligible to come back for a 5th year. But he had signed with the Steelers already, so he's negative now. So, well, until more legislation comes down or more court orders. But Drew could have stayed here another year after he could have stayed this coming season, and he would definitely make more money than he is in the NFL right now.
It's not going to be a regular occurrence, but I strongly suspect anyway that there will be cases where it's like, this is more profitable for me to stay here than to put myself in to the draft. And so, I think this is where some of these lawsuits are going to occur. It's like, well, you're denying me an opportunity to play a 6th year. I'm pursuing a graduate degree. The team wants me. I want to be on the team. Who are you to deny me the opportunity to make my livelihood?
I think that's much more prevalent in collegiate basketball, because there are guys that you watch play college basketball and you're like, that does not translate to the NBA.
Yeah.
It does not translate. Listen, I grew up watching my brother play. He played 6 years in Europe, busted his ass, made a lot of money over in Europe.
Yeah.
But guess what? Nowadays, if you stay at school for 5 or 6, however long you stay, because it doesn't correlate to the NBA, you're going to make more money in college. Why the hell would you even try to go? Why even try to go to the NBA? Because you're going to be relegated to Europe. And why even go to Europe when you can be the big man on campus at a collegiate program for 5 years? I think that's more prevalent in hoops than it will be in football. Certain positions, because quarterback is definitely the position you could tell that, hey, that's not going to, his size and his game doesn't correlate to the NFL whatsoever.
Yeah, usually you get at least a pretty good idea at the very least. All right, let's take a break here. We're back with a
good day today, Jeff.
Segment. We'll go with that. It is the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show here from Quaker Steak Lube.
You look a bit nervous, hey?
Thierry, what's it like to stand in the FIFA World Cup stadium?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Just tell me. Come on.
It's not something that you can put into words.
Such a tease.
You can't rush it. You will find out when it's your time.
Thanks for the wisdom, coach. So, how much longer?
Now go and make history, my man. Here's the World Cup you've been waiting for.
Actually, the World Cup's been waiting for me.
That's the spirit. Just remember who drove you here.
Inspiring every step of the next legend. The official matchball carrier, proudly sponsored by Kia. Inspiration connects us all.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
Get our Best Wings USA signature sauces, mouth-watering appetizers, or any of our delicious award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, team is away. I'm always watching, always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
Lusk & Associates Sotheby's International Realty proudly presents the introduction of our new State College office at 314 South Borough Street in State College. At Sotheby's International Realty, we advertise locally, nationally, and internationally, bringing the best of advertising and promotion to each and every one of our properties, big or small. Call now.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
Hi, welcome to Timberland Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative for its members, tracing all the way back to 1973.
Experience Timberland Federal Credit Union, where you're greeted with a smile and financial solutions are tailored to your unique life journey. Here, we're not just financial professionals, we're your neighbors, people invested in your financial needs, literacy, and empowerment. Your dreams matter to us, whether they're about buying a home, growing a nest egg, or embarking on new adventures. TFCU draws from the past and invests in the future, offering modern tools like online banking to give you the freedom to manage your money practically anytime. Additionally, we're passionate about giving back both time and resources because enhancing our community is at the core of why we're here. Visit TFCU in person or online to learn more about our services and apply for a membership today.
WFXS, once again, the Fox, your sports radio.
Broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA's Sports Authority, WFXS America.
98.7, the Fox, State College.
And back here on a Thursday afternoon. Rain is at least letting up considerably, if not altogether stopping just yet. Hopefully in short order we can get there, but we'll
I got
take
a kayak in my backyard, Ironhead, if you want to borrow that, get downtown somewhere.
Couple of things.
Quick road, quick trip.
Drew Aller, speaking of which, will be back in action tomorrow night. By the way, Tyler Warren, I guess, apparent groin injury.
Yeah, hurt his groin.
Yeah. Hopefully nothing major there, although...
You know what? Being a fat slob nowadays, Jeff?
Yeah.
It's great. I don't have to worry about groin injuries anymore. It's a fantastic thing. You know, it's not like one of those things where you think about it. I remember, you ever pull a groin?
No.
It's brutal.
I mean, yeah.
It's just brutal. Anything in your core as an offensive lineman or a person who has their hand down, it sucks.
There's some things that I don't want to experience. I've heard how bad they are, and I'm good. I don't want to experience that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Come on.
Quite sure on that one.
You don't know what you're missing, bud.
Drew Aller will get his second opportunity tomorrow night against the formidable New York Jets, Super Bowl contenders each and every year.
You stop reading the New York Times, buddy. The New York media will do bad things to your brain.
But I will be riveted again just to see, all right, are we consistently looking like this could be the
well, the second half of the game was just future. On. I had my eye a little bit on Drew, and he threw very well.
Like I said, the understanding it was preseason and the defenders he was going against, all of that. I do think that the body language was good, the command, but the touch on the pass, like when he needed to zip it, he zipped it. When he needed to float it out there a little bit, he did that. Like he just seemed to have a good feel for what it was he wanted and needed to accomplish out there. And I think he did everything he could have to make a good impression in the first preseason game of his NFL career. Again, I am not ready to anoint him the next guy, but I'm willing to say I didn't see anything there that makes me think he couldn't be, and that's what you're going to be keeping an eye on through at least the next couple of games.
You turned your back on Howard so fast, Ironhead. That's unbelievable.
No, I still like Will Howard, and I still think there's a chance. And again, I think he played well. I do think Aller outshined him, at least in that particular game, and I don't think that means a whole lot in and of itself. But I do think Aller is a better fit for what Mike McCarthy likes to do with his offense. Again, I think, at least at this point, I think both have a chance to be long-term, big-time starters in the NFL. Whether or not either will become that, I don't know, but I haven't seen anything yet from either that's like, yeah, that's not a guy that's going to be a starter in the NFL. And in Aller's case, I just think his arm strength and ability to throw the different types of passes that are needed. Again, physically, I don't think there's really ever been a doubt about Drew Aller and whether he would fit in the NFL. The question has been much more about, can he make the right reads consistently, not force the ball in when you don't want it forced in, all of those things. And again, I think Howard, to a lesser degree, I mean, I think physically he showed up fine at Ohio State. I think whether his game translates as well to the NFL is at least debatable, but I think because of his focus, his determination, and again, just the way he carries himself, I'm like, yeah, I think that guy has a real shot at being a difference maker, not just a starter, but a difference maker for an organization in the NFL. And again, I haven't seen anything from either of them through one preseason appearance that makes me think they couldn't be. But that doesn't mean definitively either of them will be.
Gotcha.
But I did notice like
one thing.
Aller's potential a little more at this point than Howard.
I did notice when I'm watching the game here on the replay of it that Rodgers had a headset on, was listening in, and he was talking to Aller on the bench.
And
that's the maturity of Aaron Rodgers right there. That was not there when remember him and Roethlisberger said very similar things. My job's not to train your next quarterback,
Correct. But I also,
he's much older now.
Correct. And he knows, he's going out on his terms, which is a little different too. Yep. He knows he's the starter for this year, and he knows because he wants it to be that this is his final NFL season. Well, that's different than, hey, we've got a hot shot that's coming along that may nudge you out a few years earlier than what you want to be. So, I mean, I understand.
You're
that
$28 million. He's worth $4 million. We're going to make the $4 million decision because we think he's just as good as you.
Yeah.
And thank you for all the help you've given us.
Yeah.
We're not going to give you a damn thing. Goodbye. Good luck.
Which is, again, that's the welcome to professional sports.
There's another guy we're talking about, the Jets, in my head. You just said the Jets. And I'm just like, is there a team in any sport who gets more freaking love and attention that has never won crap? Now, I would say another team or another two teams that I know like that is the New York Knicks and the New York Rangers. The Knicks have changed that.
Yeah.
The Rangers are still hanging on the 94 Stanley Cup, and then before that, the 1940 Cup. So I get it. But the Jets, I mean, honest to God, it's just the media just drives me crazy up there.
I mean, I realize they've had more success more recently, but the Cowboys would be getting pretty close to that category at this point, right? Like, I mean, every year they're like, well, this could be the year if not get to the Super Bowl, at least make a real run.
They haven't been in an NFC title game since '95.
Correct. Yeah. So Again,
Jeff, I was dark haired. We weren't even gray in '95. I mean, hell, you may have actually had longer hair. 1995.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a hell of a year. It was a great year.
But how many years between then and now have we been told that this could be the year the Cowboys put it all together?
I just realized my life went to crap in 1996 when I got hurt. It's been crap since. I'm the Dallas Cowboys.
But you're not the Dallas Cowboys, so you got that going for you.
I could be.
But you're not. You got that going for you. I'm not trying to help you here, Goon.
Yeah, God, there go. I'm back on the couch again. Son of a bee sting.
Yeah.
I'll have to really get some deep thoughts next week, Jeff. As I'm laying in as I'm hanging in the pool thinking about this. Deep thoughts with Goon. Retroactively. Oh my God, I didn't realize this because I was like sitting there. I was like, well, 1995 was an absolutely great year for me in my life.
Do you
and then
realize
it went to crap.
1 week from tomorrow is the start of the high school football season here in Pennsylvania? And
LaSalle College High School's defense of their 6A state title. When's the last time your boys have won? Was it the
won the whole
era?
thing. Yeah, it was the mythical state title back then. But yes, it was.
They didn't have state titles then?
No, it was you were crowned just like the NCAA. You were crowned.
When did the PIAA start the games? I mean, am I thinking that when Kyle Brady and Cedar Cliff and like CB West and I remember Franklin and the Chamonix was in a state title game.
It was in the 80s that they went.
So they didn't have a PIAA title until the 80s?
I'll look that up.
I think you're right because I think that I remember.
I feel like I remember when they went to it.
So what the hell did they do? Just like have like 10 teams think that we were the best team in the state last year? Holy crap. I mean, I remember watching Kyle playing Central Catholic, and then I think Cedar Cliff played in the Chamonix when Franklin was quarterback too. Because he and Kyle would have been same age at the Chamonix and Cedar Cliff. But I'm pretty sure I saw Kyle play at Beaver Stadium on television. I think because obviously I grew up down in Montgomery County, and Central Bucks is right up the street, right up the road. So I mean that was the thing. They were winning mythical national titles. I didn't think about they didn't even have state titles then. Holy crap, man.
Yeah.
But now that I'm thinking about it, I think that's right. And I'll never understand why they wouldn't allow us in. But now you do.
88.
88. And that would have been Kyle's sophomore year.
Yeah.
Holy crap. That's exactly when I remember watching them. And they played at the Beaver Stadium, I think.
They definitely did at least 1 or 2 years there because but so
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's
and then now
how quickly things change in the world of sports, and we get accustomed and just think it's always been a certain way. And kids growing up today, right? Like young kids, they're like, well, of course student athletes are getting paid. There was a time when
that's my
another
fear.
10 years, that's
that
is going to be something that they just
I know we're going to get back to we said this back in the day, we said this, but we also said there's going to come a time, like when I would do shows with Tangwell and Aeneas, that those kids, they were here when they didn't have NIL, and then they were here while they got NIL. And you know how appreciative those kids were of that? I said, I do not want to see the day 5 years from now when it's becoming like this is expected. You're not appreciative of it whatsoever because it's expected. That's the only thing they've ever known. And I think that will eventually become the downfall of sports. I think that how like Penn State hung on to like we were playing for national titles and we sort of taught the Big Ten that there's a lot bigger things out there than winning Big Ten titles.
Yep.
And we taught them how to. Okay, well, you still want to win national titles is the thing, but you can still win a Big Ten title doing that. I think that we are we're in that world right now where we're going to learn, and I don't think we're going to like what we see with these kids in a couple of years. Like, okay, they're making more than I ever make in my life right now. It's like something's really screwy here. And again, they're 18 to 22-year-old kids. What could go wrong, Jeff?
Yeah, although I will say, yes, it is going to ultimately, I think it's going to have a detrimental impact on some of the athletes that come up, because it will be.
We're not helping them.
Destructive. But I also, I don't know what you do about it, and it's not going to be everybody, and it's just not to veer into a topic we have no business talking about, but Hayden Panettiere, when you the number of young Hollywood stars who have gone on and had deeply troubled lives for all kinds of reasons. It's not all of them.
Child stars.
There are child and young adult stars who have had, and not even stars in some cases, who have had problems. And again, for a wide variety of reasons. But getting money early is certainly one of the problems for many of them, where it's like, okay, they're super talented. Do you tell them, well, no, you can't, we can't have any children in movies? Well, but this is and now with AI, maybe that is the direction they'll go. I don't know. But I mean, I'm with you, but also I just, it is heartbreaking when you hear the individual stories. But it's just like the gambling thing that we've talked about. Again, the majority, I still think the majority of athletes who come up are going to, the money is going to be a benefit. Hopefully, we get enough structures in place that most people are able to navigate the heady waters of being rich at an early age.
That's where I'm at.
But there's only so much you can do. And I think the schools should be doing everything they can.
Yeah.
And I think for the most part, truthfully, that they are. You're still going to have, no matter what you do, right? So long as we remain a free society, it's like, okay, well, once I'm out of your eyesight or earshot, I may fall into whatever temptations are out there, and or have people that are exploiting me, right? And
you're going to have that. You already have that.
Yes,
you got cousins you had no idea you had, and you had best friends that you didn't know you had, and because they know what you're getting paid.
So again, I think you do everything you can to educate folks. But it's just like the vices that we have. I mean, alcohol and prohibition didn't work. Are there people whose lives are destroyed almost daily by alcohol? Well, yes. Well, should we get rid of it? Well, there's a majority of people that can still have a glass of wine,
and you do it again that night,
or a beer, or whatever it is, and it's like, so you're not going to allow those people to have it, and again, it's the same thing with gambling. It's the same. You just go right down the line.
Yep.
Again, do I want there to be some safeguards put in place?
That's what I want.
Yeah.
See, what I want to say, and I'm not going to sit here and be like, well, I said this, because we have been saying this. And that is, I would, honest to God, Jeff, I don't think kids realize the importance of life insurance and future monies. And that is if you're going to use your body right now, a.k.a. be a collegiate football player, and they're going to pay you. Okay, but what if they pull out or they give you a life insurance policy that's completely paid for in 5 years, and you have that when you get out of college, an annuity, Like I've said before, well, every year you compete for the varsity program and you complete your grades and you move on to your next year in the school, you should get an annuity, a $10,000, $25,000 annuity each year, and then you graduate college. That's $100,000 sitting in there, and it's going to grow. It's going to grow. So guess what? Thank you for playing football at Penn State. When you're 50 years old, you're going to have a check in your for $1.5 million as a thank you. And that is a hell of a damn thing that could happen, but they don't want it to happen because kids don't understand it.
Yeah.
When they don't understand the situation, they don't want it. And that drives you a little bit batty because I'm looking at it back in the day, and I would have said, give me as much money as you can right now. And that's what they're saying, and that's what kids do. But there should be some adults in the room saying, hey, this is how it's going to be, but you can't do that.
Correct. You can just lay it out as best you can and hope.
Yep.
Hope against hope that it works out. But
hey, listen, this happens to so many guys. This is what we're trying to avoid. Here, listen to this guy talk. Listen to that guy talk. Okay, but they still don't. It's going to go in one ear and out the other. They want money. Crazy.
And not just money, but the stardom, the praise that comes with it. Like it's all intoxicating, right? Like it has to be, and would be for anybody. And that's where you again hope that there are parents or coaches, or ideally both, and other adult figures that have the trust of the individual that's like, all right, we understand this is all intoxicating. We understand this is big money and you can flaunt it and do this and that. Also, you've got a whole life in front of you. This is what would be smart. Put this, much aside. I'm not saying you can't enjoy some of the finer things, but maybe pick your spots here and there and try to set yourself up for
sure.
And again, I think some will listen, some won't, no matter how much you're told. And at some point, you just have to accept that and be okay with it. It is what I think, and that's it's not.
It don't matter what we think. Yeah.
Comforting, not a terrifically comforting message, but it's just. How many stories have we heard? I think there was a TV series about it, right? Of lottery winners.
Oh yeah.
Who then 10 years later are, or less, are like not just destitute, but I mean are in horrendous shape, either addicts of one kind or another, or multiple kinds.
Broke, getting sued by people they had no idea.
Yeah, and it's heartbreaking, but do you say, all right, well, then we just don't have any lottery?
Do you think the sixth house was the problem?
So, but again, if you
just
are,
stayed at
if
5,
you
you'd
are
have been
going
fine.
from, if you have not been educated, and I'm talking financially educated.
Yep.
All right, this is what this means. This is what it could mean. This is how you can parlay it into different other opportunities. If you've not been educated in that and you have been at a certain income level and it's not significant, and then all of the sudden, again,
I told you about my brother.
It can be
when he went to the
very
Dolphins
hard.
in '87. He went to the Miami Dolphins. You don't know what my father was like. My dad never saw that kind of money. He had a $50,000 signing bonus. My dad never saw that kind of money in his life.
Yeah.
And my dad was like, "Oh, we'll watch your money for you," and they bought some property, and it just went under. Like you need to trust people who actually know, who have been in that business, and I know the people you trust the most are your parents and all. And sometimes it's not the best thing in the world because they may have never seen that kind of money either.
Yes,
it's a huge thing, man.
Yep,
that's why I say every when you hear, oh, this someone he has an agent, and I'm like, good. The kid should have it. Every kid should have an agent.
Yes. Now, getting the right agent is the other part of that equation. All right, we will be
Good
back.
luck next week.
Yep, have a great weekend. Oh, yes, Goon will be off next week. I will be back here on Tuesday. Until then, be good and be safe.
You look a bit nervous, eh?
Thierry, what's it like to stand in the FIFA World Cup stadium?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Just tell me. Come on.
It's not something that you can put into words.
Such a tease.
You can't rush it. You will find out when it's your time.
Thanks for the wisdom, coach. So, how much longer?
Now go and make history, my man. Here's the World Cup you've been waiting for.
Actually, the World Cup's been waiting for me.
That's the spirit. Just remember who drove you here.
Inspiring every step of the next legend. The official matchball carrier, proudly sponsored by Kia. Inspiration connects us all.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
Get our Best Wings USA signature sauces, mouth-watering appetizers, or any of our delicious award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
Lusk & Associates Sotheby's International Realty proudly presents the introduction of our new State College office at 314 South Borough Street in State College. At Sotheby's International Realty, we advertise locally, nationally, and internationally, bringing the best of advertising and promotion to each and every one of our properties, big or small. Call now.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
Hi, welcome to Timberland Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative for its members, tracing all the way back to 1973.
Experience Timberland Federal Credit Union, where you're greeted with a smile and financial solutions are tailored to your unique life journey. Here, we're not just financial professionals, we're your neighbors, people invested in your financial needs, literacy, and empowerment. Your dreams matter to us, whether they're about buying a home, growing a nest egg, or embarking on new adventures. TFCU draws from the past and invests in the future, offering modern tools like online banking to give you the freedom to manage your money practically anytime. Additionally, we're passionate about giving back both time and resources because enhancing our community is at the core of why we're here. Visit TFCU in person or online to learn more about our services and apply for a membership today.
WFXS, once again.
The Fox, your sports radio.
Broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA Sports Authority. WFXS America.
98.7 The Fox State College.